acknowledgement, or acknowledgements. I thought it was going to be an easy day, an easy time up here to be able to say goodbye. And goodbyes are always a mixed emotion of different feelings. I'm going to miss this without a doubt, and it certainly, I certainly would have run again had it not been for other issues. But I think the fact that wow, looking at that one, gee, that must have really been skinny looking.
You worked hard though.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad that I've recovered, and am recovering. I'm still working on some other issues, but good Lord willing, I'll be around for a while and be able to fully recover and hopefully, Tim, get back to that golf course again. I see Tim and David and Ray Soto and a few others that I go out there, or used to go out there regularly, and have some time off. There's me, the old version, about 40 miles more than what I have now. But it's been a tough ride the last couple of years, as you all know. Anyway, I'm back to recovery, and those years, and I always say, and I remember Ray Castillo saying this about 4 or 5 years ago. Mr. Castillo went through cancer and had a tough time. And Mr. Kelly and I went to see him. Boy, we both said, wow, he looks rough. I don't know if he's going to make it. You know what, Ray? I'm glad to see that you came back. No, he looked rough. He looked rough. I see me looking bad or looking, saw me at my worst time. Ray looked rougher. We saw him at the hospital. And, thank the good Lord again that he brought him through, because I didn't know if he'd make it, Ray. It was. We were looking up. But he's come back, and look at him now, and how he wishes that he probably lost a few of those. That he had lost during the illness, like we all do, illness makes you lose weight without a doubt. Man, look at that one right there. That must have been 30 pounds less than what I am now. Anyway,
Good.
I feel good right now. I do feel good. I sure thank the Almighty that I'm on my way to recovery. And I do plan to recover, and I do plan to get back out and do other things. But my primary decision was really to spend more time with those folks that are here in the first few rows. My family's here, my wife. That poor woman had to work hard when I was really down, because I needed basically a caretaker. There was very few things that I could do. And I'm talking the worst. I'm talking, toiletry and everything else that you can think of. And that's not a fun job. And anyway, it's a tough time. So I want to thank her and those of you that really said a lot of prayers for me. Jay, I know you've had some. There was a lot of people, and I mean from every walk of life, from every religion you could think of. I had people that came up and said, we have you. We have you covered. And I think you did. You did a good job. So, anyway, gosh, I thought it was going to be an easy way to I guess it's never easy. But I want to thank again, my family's here. I thank you all for being a great support. I even had a couple of kids that moved back into Imperial County from where they were with their careers, and they moved back because I guess they felt that I might not make it too much longer also, so they wanted to be nearby. So I thank them for that. That was a great sacrifice. And all of you friends, those of you that have mentioned that we're thinking of you, because I think without those thoughts, medicine isn't by itself. There's a great other factor out there that we all forget about. But I'll tell you what, when you're down and out, that's the first one you think about, that other factor. And it's very potent, very powerful. And I thank them for this, because days, you don't wanna get out of bed. It makes it really, really tough, and I thank, those of you that did take me and offered to take me to the doctors. There were several of you in the audience that took me to the doctors because, the family commitments and whatnot, and it's difficult. Because almost everything is over the hill. I mean, it's a tough time. But thank all of you for being here, for the acknowledgments, but mainly for your prayers and your thoughts. Keep those coming because I still have a few hurdles. They're not major hurdles like they were before, but they're there. And so we still deal with them. And lastly, I want to thank this board, the staff, all the employees, clerk of the board. She manages to keep us all in line all the time. And it's been a nice ride. Some days are difficult, as you're all aware. We get a lot of pressure from two different sides or two different angles, but they're fun. And I've enjoyed this ride. I really have. Since I was on the council, since I was on the planning commission, is when I started back in '89. Some of you may not even have been born then, but since then it's been a good learning experience, a great opportunity, working with a lot of good people. And I want to thank the family for putting up with it because there's a lot of nights that you spend, or nights or days that you spend that you wish you were somewhere else. Like when they had these Christmas parties, I remember missing a bunch of them because I had other obligations to either the city or the county. And those things happen. That's the way it is. It's a job. It's a job. It's part of a job and part of the responsibilities that come with it. So I want to thank my fellow board members because they do that job. They do it well, and they're very conscientious of the decisions that they make. Because some of them are very difficult, and I can remember being on the city council when we had to go through some cuts, and that's the worst time. Well, Jack's back there nodding his head. He remembers that too. It's the worst of times that a person can go through in making a decision to cut someone's job, to have to lay them off, or reduce their salary. I mean, but sometimes that's the way to keep the organization alive. Otherwise, it will go down. And so you have to commend the ladies and gentlemen that participate in the process because it's a difficult process. It's not as easy as it looks sometimes. And it's not all fun and games and easy decisions like this morning. We had some really easy decisions. I bet we haven't gone through an agenda this quick in several years. Most of them you go through quickly in July and August when nobody's around and there's very few on the agenda and everybody wants to get over the hill, so to get to the cooler spots. But today was a pretty quick agenda, and it's not always like that. And that's why I wanted to bring that up because, we as the public need to thank these folks. And there's a lot of them in the audience. There's a lot of elected officials that represent school boards, represent city councils, represent, there's a judge in the audience. Those are tough decisions. Can you imagine if we feel ours is tough, what a judge's is when he's got to put, someone's livelihood, someone's life on the line? It's like, wow. I can't imagine it. So I want to thank all of you that serve the public because that is one tough job. And sometimes you take it home and it affects your behavior at home, and it's tough. Sometimes you just gotta go in the shell to get over it. But anyway, it's a tough job. It's an enjoyable job, and it's all what you make of it. But I want to thank all of you that are out there that you represent schools, public utilities. I think I pretty much covered commissions, the volunteer commissions. Especially those volunteer commissions, because like I said before, without the volunteers, you can't have these programs function, because there's just not enough money to go around to afford these programs to continue. So again, thanks to all of you, and those that just come up here, not necessarily elected, but because they have an interest in some of the issues that go on. There's a lot of you out there. I see Les, I see John. There's a lot of you that come to these meetings because you have an interest in what goes on with your fellow man, so to speak. And so thank you all for doing that. It's not an easy task, and you know, we could be doing other things like watching TV or not doing nothing at all. But you take the time to come up and you know, and speak your mind. And it's not easy. You know, for those of you that haven't been to that microphone, you know, you think it's easy when you get up here. It's like, oh man, what was that? You know, you take a moment and all of a sudden it's like, why am I here? But anyway, it eventually, you know, you work through it. So again, thank you folks, thank you guys, my fellow board members, clerk of the board, oh there she is, she's hiding back there, and her staff, and also the staff, and I don't know where the CEO, and I wanted to thank, he's back there, I wanted to thank him because, you know, you always, you get on these boards, and, you know, like anything else, you learn to count to 3 real quick, because without that third one, kind of going in your direction, you might as well start thinking for the next project or the next item on the agenda, because it's not going to happen. But because you have a good CEO that tends to try to bring everything to the plate, because each one of us is individual and each one of us has an agenda, and unfortunately each one of us represents a particular district, and so you try to get something for that district on the plate, but you know, sometimes you have to accept that there's other things that are more pressing in this county. And we have a lot of poverty in this county. And so, you know, you gotta kind of keep that in mind, that the poverty needs to be taken care of first. And then come the other niceties in our plate or in our agenda. But hopefully, I know my replacement, I've known him for a long time, and he's gonna do a good job for you. And he'll be conscientious of that poverty. I know that he works on particular issues on a personal basis in trying to help relieve some of that poverty. So hopefully he'll gel with you guys and blend in well. I think he will. But we'll do that installation, just for the record, on January the 3rd. I don't know if a time has been set.
11.
At 11.
At 11 o'clock. So for those of you that wish to join on January the 3rd, the new supervisor will be installed. That is Luis Blancarte. I don't think he's here today. Is he back there?
Yep.
All right, Luis. Well, why don't you stand up so everybody can see? For those that can't be here, that's Luis. Thank you for being here, Luis. He'll be taking over and warming up one of the seats up here, and moving forward with the issues at hand. So anyway, I think I'm going to cut it while I'm ahead. I'm not too emotional. I think I've relaxed a little bit now. But again, thank you all. And Francis, I want to thank you again. I was a little worried. I hadn't seen you come in. I thought, oh my God. But she's here. So thank all of you. My sister is here from San Diego. My aunt's here. Gosh, my sibling, my brother. A lot of my in-laws, my son-in-law, my daughter-in-law, and my grandkids, and one of them's falling asleep with me. I better cut it off.